What's up, Dragon Brood? So today I'm coming at you with another card spotlight, and we want to talk about an aggressive card that's a forecasting cost spell, creature even, but it's not the one you're thinking of. I mean, I know we all like Questing Beast, but that's not our guy right now. It's a red card. And you know what? For those of you that haven't subscribed to the channel, I'll give you a second to do that while we run the intro. Alright, so the card we want to talk about is Tectonic Giant. This is a card that seems to be getting overlooked. I know we look at a lot of times when we're building aggro decks and we look for kind of like the highest impact 4 or 5 mana thing to put in. And really a lot of those decks have been considering playing stuff like Nightmare Shepherd or Questing Beast, but nobody's really given the Giant a lot of respect. I mean, think about the fact that every single time it attacks, you get your choice of either dealing 3 damage or getting your better pick of the top 2 cards. And that's great at that stage of the game because you're either trying to do extra damage to close the game out, say if your opponent's at like 7 or less, because then you're also talking about the 3 damage you're gonna deal with the Giant itself, but then you're also getting to get a better selection of cards. Say if your opponent's still at 12 or more life, you get to choose, okay, maybe do I get a spell? Do I get a creature? There's even times during the attack step that you can hunt for something like an Embercleave mid-attack. Like, that's something sweet that happens. And it also is really good against some of these control decks. Kind of how we talked about in our last card spotlight, there's a lot of those decks playing so many targeted removal spells. And that means you're going to get a lot of activations. And there's even times where they have to 2 for 1 it in some cases, deal damage with a couple of different sources. So then that's either 6 damage or 2 cards. Or they target it, you can defend it, and then they actually get to keep it alive, so they have to do it again later. And in some cases, you can put your opponent in a really bad spot, whether it's, okay, do I take this other creature out, or do I take out the Giant? Well, if I take out the Giant, then it's going to be 3 damage. And that's fine. Anytime you can put more issues on the opponent and cause more questions, you open up the possibility for more mistakes by your opponent. Now, does this card have a lot of value in non-standard formats? Probably not in like Legacy or Modern or anything, but it does have some applications in Commander. I mean, it sounds a little weird because it's not really a high impact card, but every time it attacks, again, you do get the choice of do you want to deal 3 damage to each opponent, or do you want to get the better choice of your top 2 cards? And it depends. There's some cards in Commander and some decks based around doing stuff with cards in exile, which it can work for that. But sometimes just dealing that damage, especially when you get to hit multiple opponents, is enough. It's a really interesting card. Now, downsides to it, it does cost 4 mana, and it is only 3 power. But it's 3 powers that comes with some extra choices that can work at different stages of the game. It is only 4 toughness, so you're not getting a much larger creature on the back end than you would anything else you're going to spend 4 mana on. So depending on your style of deck, maybe something like Questing Beast is still important. If the meta doesn't have a bunch of things that can block flyers, yeah, maybe something like Nightmare Shepherd is still where you want to be. Just something to consider. It's a really cool card, and honestly, you can pick them up cheap right now. They're not super sought after. And as we move into a world of Ikoria where there are going to be more large creatures, potentially there's more giants, and then you can actually have other things that go with it tribally. Don't know, but who knows? Now's not a bad time to pick them up. Anyway, thanks for listening. Again, like this video if you can, and if you haven't subscribed, please do so. Otherwise, we'll talk to you next time.